In this video, I'm going to tell you guys my 6 best tips for mastering the long run, starting with my least valuable and working my way up to the best tip that I have for long runs. Okay, so the first tip I'm going to give you guys is to set milestones. Mentally, it's hard to get over the sheer volume of the long run. I mean, you're out there for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. It's a long way to go. Let's just say that your long run is 13 miles. If you have this long of a long run, looking at a full 13 miler is gonna seem so daunting. But instead, think about getting through the first 5 miles and then getting to 10 miles. And then once you get to 10 miles, you're almost all the way through and you just need to finish the last little stretch. Breaking it down like this can make it a lot easier to get through the entire thing mentally instead of being overwhelmed at the beginning by the sheer volume that you have to run. I usually try to break it into thirds or so. If I'm doing 12, I'll break it into 4-mile increments, and it just really helps me stay engaged and focused on the run. My second tip is to run with people. Some people out there like just soloing a long run, that they can go their own pace, push it when they want to push it. But running with people makes the long run go by so much faster. Just by having some conversation and even just a body there to keep you going is so essential for completing a run that can take over an hour. It can also help you at the end when you're super tired and you want to quit, but you have someone right there to keep pushing you and keep pulling you to the next mile and so on. And honestly, the sport can get super lonely if you're running alone all the time. It's so great to have a training partner, someone to chat with while you're on the run, to keep your mind off of the running part of it. Even if it means running slower or faster than you would have liked, it's usually worth it to have someone by your side the entire time. My third tip is to stay focused on your run. And of course, this doesn't mean how bad it is or how much it sucks that you're out here running. It means to stay focused on your breathing, on your stride, on everything that makes a run feel good. Instead of thinking of the overall mileage, think of the physical running you're putting in at that very moment. How do you feel at mile 5.23? Not how will I feel at mile 12.23. Having this mindset keeps you engaged on the moment and allows you to feel a lot better than you would thinking that you have this much more time to go. And this tip is a lot more for if you're running alone. If you're running with friends, it's okay to let your mind wander to various conversational topics. But if you're running by yourself, you want to make sure you're staying focused on what you're doing at that present moment and why you are out there at the moment training. Think of your goals. Think about running as you're running. Stay locked in on the run, but don't get overwhelmed by how much distance you have left. And for tip number 4, it is to prepare beforehand. Really fast, remember guys, these tips are getting more and more important as we go on, so preparing is pretty high on the hierarchy. Just like a race, you want to prepare heavily for the long run. The long run burns more calories than any race or workout ever will. So it's important to make sure you're fueled up, hydrated up, slept up, all of the ups for the long run. If you do your long run Saturday, Sunday morning, make sure that you are drinking a ton of water the night before, you eat a good dinner, and that you go to sleep on time. There's nothing worse than trying to bang out a fast long run off 5 hours of sleep. Since the long run is just so grueling and so long, you need your body to be properly fueled. If you're going long enough, make sure you have gels, make sure you have a snack so that you don't run out of energy. Make stops along the way where you know you can get water at a local park or something that has water fountains. Planning out your route is key also, so you know where you are along the run and where you can stop if you need it. Not only physically, but also mentally, you need to be focused on the long run. The night before, visualize it, be ready, but don't dread it. Look forward to the long run and be prepared to kill it the next day. My 5th tip is to start out slow and progress. There's nothing worse than getting halfway through a long run and realizing you've been taking it way too fast, way too early. Let's take the example of a 12-mile long run. At mile 6, you shouldn't be hitting your fastest mile. It should come at mile 12. I really like taking my long runs as a straight progression, every mile faster than the rest. But if you are trying to progress on a 12-mile long run every single mile, you obviously need to start slow at the beginning. Whenever I do a long run, the first 2 to 3 miles are really a warm-up. There's no way I'm breaking 7 in the mile the first couple, no matter how good I feel. Then as I start to get a little bit more comfortable on like miles 4 through 8, I start to pick it up a little. That's when I start seeing the 640s, maybe dip into the 630s if I'm really feeling good. And then the last couple miles, that's when I can push it. That's when I can hit almost tempo effort because I'm so warmed up. Progressing through the long run allows your body to feel good throughout, not make you too tired at the end, but rather make it feel like a natural process that you're picking it up every mile. I usually finish my long runs at about 6 flat pace, so if I start out with a 6 flat mile, I'm gonna feel horrible for the end of the run. Instead, at mile 12, if I hit 6 flat, I know I'm done. I know I can push it one more mile to finish out a great long run. Of course, some of you aren't gonna wanna progress, but keep it steady then. You don't wanna see your paces getting slower and slower each mile because that's just gonna discourage you and wear you out. Okay, so my final, most important, number 1 tip for the long run is to stay relaxed and to truly enjoy it. My absolute worst long runs have come when the night before I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to wake up and I need to go run 13 miles. This is going to suck. You gotta truly enjoy the long run, or at least fake yourself into believing that you enjoy the long run. If you're dreading it every second of the way, building up to it, you're not gonna wanna do it. You gotta really embrace the process and be like, I cannot wait to get out there and improve today. I cannot wait to get out there and just conquer everything today. While other people are sleeping, I'm gonna be out grinding it out, running so many miles. And this really just comes down to headspace. You need to have a positive outlook on the long run or you're gonna hate it forever. Even if you really despise it, it's important to convince yourself you like it. Then you're gonna go in eager to the long run, looking to do well, looking to run fast, excited for the miles to come and the journey that you're about to go on. And this is why it's my number 1 tip. There is literally such a big difference between when I go into the run thinking, oh my god, this is gonna suck, versus I go into it happy, excited to be running. You have to be thankful that you're able to run these long distances and not look at it as a chore of the day. And those are my 6 tips for conquering the long run. Comment below if you have a good tip. And of course, make sure to subscribe if you've gotten anything of value. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like. See you in the next one.